Okay, this video is probably going to piss off most women, but it's my channel, so either deal with it or don't watch the video. Another thing is I have a sore throat, so bear with me. I think that women livers are ruining the country. I think it's men, nowadays, not women, who are most likely to be the oppressed class or gender in our society, and that it's far more the men who are the slaves and women are the masters. In the first place, the female militants claim that marriage is this diabolical institution by which men enslave their wives and force them to rear children and do housework. That's not at all how I feel. I love doing both. But think about it for a minute. In the great majority of cases, who is it that insists on marriage in a couple? The man or the woman? Everyone knows the answer to this. It's men are usually avoiding it and women are usually pushing for it. I can't even begin to count the number of times that girlfriends have come to me and moaned about he won't commit and he doesn't want to, it's just the way it usually goes. But if you think about it, if this great desire for marriage is the result of male brainwashing, as the women livers contend, then how is it that so many men are resisting marriage? It can't just be in my life. You hear it all the time. And as for men forcing women to bear and rear children, who again, in the vast majority of cases, is the party in the marriage most eager to have the kids? Again here, I'm sure everyone knows the answer. In my opinion, the most destructive force today is perpetuated under the guise of women's rights, or the women's liberation movement as it's commonly known. Those who believe wholeheartedly in all the concepts of women libs are usually just a minority of women who have very loud mouths. It's the silent majority who need to speak out now before women as a gender become lost in this unisex manifesto of the now gang. The ultimate test of whether women are enslaved or not in the modern marriage is one of natural law. To consider what would happen if indeed the women livers had their way and there were no marriage. In that situation, and in a consequently promiscuous world, what would happen to the children? The answer is the only visible and demonstrable parent would be the mother. Only the mother would have the child, and therefore the mother would be stuck with the child, quote unquote. In short, those women militants who complain they're stuck with the task of raising the child should heed the fact that in a world without marriage, they would be stuck with the task of earning all the income also for their child support. I suggest that they should probably contemplate this prospect long and hard before they continue to clamor for this abolition of marriage and the family. People have been so assaulted with feminism propaganda that it's ceased to be a novelty and it's become the accepted norm now. But at what cost? Men today no longer treat women with the gentle respect their mothers were treated with. They're afraid to open a door for a woman or offer to carry her packages or even help an elderly woman across a busy street for fear of being called a sexist or being slapped with a discrimination suit. Women no longer find any joy in doing the genteel feminine things their mothers did, such as baking, sewing, raising the kids. I do. I love to bake. I hate sewing, I have to admit. But women nowadays, instead, they're striving for careers, executive positions, seats on the board of directors, political appointments in offices. No longer are women content to enjoy the pleasures of being a wife and a mother. They've grown foolish and complacent, and eventually they're going to pay a terrible price for their willingness to be led into what we're being led into by a bunch of wannabe men feminists who want every woman to lose her femininity and her gender. We've gained the right, sure, for equal pay, for equal work, equality in the business place, and the right to vote. But look at what else we've gained. Mothers, if not for yourselves and for your daughters, women now have the right to all the ulcers, heart attacks, headaches that come along with being the head of the household. They're now obligated to bear equal financial responsibility along with their husband. They can fight on the front lines during the time of war. Your daughters now have the right to kill their unborn children, no matter how old they are, without notifying you or the father of the child. They can now go to any school or clinic and get birth control and condoms no matter how old they are, and they don't have to tell you about it. In fact, you don't even have the right to know. Those are just a few of the quote-unquote rights that women have gained by keeping silent in the face of this women's liberation movement. God help us all if they succeed in doing what they really want to do, which, in my opinion, is turn us into sexless, genderless Amazons who don't need men or children in their lives. But succeed they will if women don't come to their senses and speak out loudly and boldly against this now. If those who believe in and practice the feminist manifesto can't be happy being feminine or being a wife and mother, at least leave those of us alone who can and are. I mean, I'm perfectly happy being a wife and a mother. I think that being a wife and mother is the most satisfying thing in the world. Now, granted, that is my opinion, and I'm not saying that they don't have the right to their opinion. I'm just saying that I think that this feminist Nazi movement, just cutting a man down where he stands, not allowing him to be the man, not allowing him to carry the money and feel like the man. When we go in a store, when my husband and I go in a store, even if I'm the one who brought my money and he forgot his, I hand him the money. He's a man. I'm the woman. The gender role, families were happier, I think, when gender roles were defined, clearly defined. Men were men and women were women. Boys grew up to be men. They didn't grow up to stand behind their wife with a purse, just shutting up like she wants them to. When they came home from work, the children were clean, the house was clean, the wife was pleasant. I mean, we have a rule in our house where I don't bug my husband for the first hour after he gets home because he needs time to, get back into the family mode. He can't have me at the door as soon as he walks in the door. Guess what happened with my day? Blah, blah, blah. He's had a hard day himself. And women are they're cutting men down where they stand. It's unbelievable that it's perfectly acceptable to them, and it's even what they want, or it's what they think they want. And even now, if they want to say something, they can't say they failed, they screwed up. They can't, because then their women's lib thing didn't work. Nowadays, most kids are latchkey kids. Their mother's at work, their father's at work. They never get a chance to talk to their parents. And for what? So that she can be affirmative action on stilts? So that she can say, look at me, I can do it all. Why would you want to do it all at the sacrifice of your children? And your husband. That's my opinion, and I'd love to hear feedback, but I'm pretty sure there's not a whole lot of women that agree with me out there. Maybe even men, I don't know. But guys, speak up for yourselves. Take care.